Oh, you gotta warm up. You gotta warm up.
If the Holy Ghost kick in.
That's what I wanted you to do.
Okay, you
You're already dressed. You're already dressed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we dressed you up. No
I'll
one
be
wrong.
fine.
Okay. Okay, so give you a headphone.
Because we can swatch, you can just kind of put yourself.
I'm gonna have you do it. I'll tell you what to do. You're gonna say,
Will they give you an extra 30 minutes?
we messed up. This is how we do it.
Extra 30 minutes?
Let's do this.
Wait, what's your name again?
Roll, Bishop Jasper Rolle.
Mr. Castro, like the ghost?
Jasper.
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 As in the
Okay.
gym.
Okay, Jasper. Okay. Cool.
You're gonna be all right. It's not,
He's bad with names.
Horrible names.
it's not. I'm worse with names. Well, I think all the Sunday nights I should shout this way.
All right, ready. I want to welcome you to our.
See?
We haven't been on the air. I don't know. Has anyone ever seen any episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
have.
my daughter showed it.
Okay. What about you?
One day.
Okay. So you never seen the episode?
No, thank you.
Okay.
So see?
So you have it. You did. All right. So I'm going to welcome you to. Let me get in front. I'm going to welcome you. I'm going to welcome you to our debut episode of. Now, when I say debut, I mean debut as in the sense that we will be on broadcast TV starting in the spring of 2020. So this is our debut episode that will be on a channel called the Black News Channel, which is based out of Tallahassee, Florida. But originally, so you saw the podcast already. Okay, but you two haven't.
No.
I encourage you to at least watch your own segments. If you get a chance, go to Facebook, look for Passing the Mantle on Facebook, and you'll see we have them all listed there.
YouTube.
Yep, you got on YouTube, we're listed there as well. So our goal has been to take this podcast and to literally bring it to the point where we have it on broadcast. We've completed that goal.
Amen.
That's right. Clap, everyone clap. Okay. So this first episode, you'll literally be on broadcast. You won't be on online. You'll be on the online as well, but you'll be on whatever channel they have set up, but you'll be on broadcast television. So with that being said, let's get it on. Well, absolutely change. No, don't say that. Okay, Dina, your right line is
Okay,
here.
tell homeboy.
I get him.
Who's homeboy?
I get him.
Oh yeah.
I get him.
Oh yeah. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
The
Tell
lights.
everybody, tell Brother D.
I did.
He can't come
Hit the
in.
lights.
Everybody, everything is shut down. Tell Brother D he can't come back and get another sandwich.
Oh, and by the way, we encourage everyone who has social media, please feel free to use your social media pages. We are fine with that. We want you to promote.
I want you to share it with your friends and your family,
This will be
your church
painless.
members.
You're gonna be fine. It'll be painless. Okay. All right, so lights gonna go off. I should also think, Jay.
You want these backlights
Yeah,
on?
keep these two on. These are kind of cool.
These are making
If you can keep these two on, that'd be great.
No, no. That's what they did the last time.
All right, awesome.
Come on, I see that. No shadows, we good?
Yep.
Bishop is not shining, is he? He's concerned.
You can shut off. No, you're fine.
I'm all
I
right.
want you to look manly.
Good.
Is yours or is mine? These are yours.
You mind doing
I'm all right, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now, by the way, Jay's in training. She's an up-and-coming producer.
Yes.
Everyone get a round of applause for Jay Rivera.
Good.
So I'm going to call the cues. Jay will follow behind me. So if it sounds redundant, don't get upset. Don't walk out. I will chase after you. Just letting you know. Okay, so. Okay. Bishop Jasper, say hello. Just say hello.
Hello?
Okay. And Dina, say hello.
Greetings.
Okay, one more time.
Greetings.
Why not get you? Say it again.
Hello?
Greetings.
Greetings.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2.
Okay. How does it sound in your headset?
It's fine.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, I'm so bored. I'm so bored not doing nothing. I don't wait to start filming again. line, which I'm wearing.
Yeah.
What else did we do? We was definitely working on this project and getting everything together and tightened up. I started real estate school. I'm in seminary getting my doctorate degree. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I never stop.
And Dina, talk again?
What?
Just keep talking.
Keep talking.
We were just talking.
We just chit chat.
No, I need her level. That's why. Go ahead, Dina.
So, as far as the church, so we know that you are located in the Bronx,
That's right.
Abundant Life Temple.
Yeah.
I was Sanctity.
Yeah.
Get me that?
Yeah.
I'm getting static.
No. Hold on.
You've been pastoring for
40 years.
40 years. That's a long time,
Yes.
dealing with people.
Yes.
Amen. Hallelujah. I'm just 6 years.
Yes, 6 years.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Pretty much.
70 years is going to be turning.
Thank you.
Just keep it up.
Yeah, keep talking.
40 years. Started in my living room. Yeah. With about 6 people. Having a dining room table.
Wow.
Having Bible study. And it just emerged into the point where my wife didn't want anybody else to come to the house. So we was next.
But do you feel that really the church really needs to go back to that?
Well, that's how the church was started.
Mhm.
Remember, the church started, we had no buildings.
Right.
We started house to house, corner to corner.
So,
And so as a result, that was our beginning, that's our origin. And so groups are now coming back, and some of the largest churches in the world are cell group churches. Paulie Cho out of Korea, and churches are going back to that, the house prayer meetings, different ones. Warren, I'm trying to get his, out of cell groups, and that's how they emerge, that's how they grow. And, there should be a church in every building. And if you go back to the old church, we started with prayer, in the housing projects, within their homes. They would have prayer there, and they would get people to know who God was as a result of people being on certain floors. They would have prayer meetings. And I'll probably talk later about how I believe it was protection for the projects, for the buildings, for the community, for the businesses that was in the community, because they were praying people in the community. And if we are to get people on their feet, we gotta get them on their knees. So that's part of it.
Jay, you have my phone on?
Yes.
Talking, Dina?
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, ready to roll?
That's ready.
Okay. Quiet on set? Say,
Quiet on set.
okay. Roll cameras.
Roll camera.
Record button. Save roll sound.
Roll sound.
Roll sound's ready. All right, okay. And we have a 5 count. So we start. 5, 4, 3, 2, action.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting episode of Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina. Today you are going to get some very, very, very exciting topics with my special guest, Bishop Jasper Rolle from Abundant Life Tabernacle, Bronx, New York. Welcome, Bishop Rolle.
Thank you.
Welcome. We love having you. Today we're going to talk about the sanctity of the church. Bishop, what do you sense is going on with the sanctity of the church?
Well, basically, there is a new transition that we're witnessing in the church and around the church. And I don't know whether we've been trained and equipped for this. It's as if when drugs came in, certain kind of drugs came in at one point that the church was not prepared for. And then there's certain things that we traditionally practice in the church with the new music and the new experience. We're not really trained and equipped for that. I think we need new training and new equipping, and we need leaders teachers who are trained to be able to teach, to train, to develop new pastors and young pastors as they tour and grow in the church. So I think the problem we have now is really training, developing. And then I think the church itself needs to be redefined to this generation as to what the church is and what is its role. The church must have a meaningful role for its existence, because if you don't have a meaningful role for existence, you might as well put any kind of business there. So we have to define the church, what the church is about, the purpose of the church, and the role of the church, and make the church accountable for its existence, you know. And we don't want to turn it into what I would call a members-only club.
Yes.
When it becomes a members-only club, that means only the members come in and only those who are inundated to our faith and what we do, they attend. But we're not affecting the community.
So how do you feel that we have, in our position of as being the body of Christ, what have we strayed away so much from that we've allowed the world to dictate what we should do within our church?
Well, the reason being is because the church, again, is at a point where it's redefined in as much as the love for the church, for the institution. There's no love for the institution. There's a love for the social order of the church. How we come in, we meet, we greet, we sing, we enjoy each other, we're all a part of something. But as far as understanding the relationship with God and the church, it's missing from there. And then you have another generation of people within the church who grew up in the church. And as a result of their growing in the church, they miss that relationship with God himself many times, because they get into what we call religiosity. That is, that they just do things because they've been doing it since they were 4 years old.
Yes.
And they've never had a real relationship with God. And I think that is a call of the church. I want to say this too. I think the call of the church is to go back to dealing with the children ministry. Children ministry must be dealt with, because when you take a list of pastors throughout the world, you'll find out that most of them accepted Christ in their teens or in their preteens. So as a result, whether it's Billy Graham, whether it's Oral Roberts, whoever they were, they all accepted Christ in their teens, whether it's Mother Horns in Harlem, all in their teens. So if we can get the young people back to understanding who the church is and who God is in their lives, and invest in them, put money in them, have basketball games or whatever we need to make them feel involved and accepting Christ, and then teach them to witness, to be able to go out and witness and bless others. So I believe that this next generation, because those who are in the church schools now, they're 10, they're 10, they're 12, they're 9. In 10 years, they will be 19. They will be 22. They will go off to university. Once they go off to university and they come back, many times they don't even attend church.
Right.
Because we sent them out with nothing in them.
Yes.
So we have to take time to work with them, that they will not only go to church, but become the church, and that the church become a part of their lives.
So that will answer, let me ask this question, because I just recently this week got an email from a viewer saying, is the Bible practical?
Well, the Bible is practical, but you know, the preacher is an attorney at law. He interprets the scripture. And it's not that you cannot read it yourself, but you need an attorney. As if when you go to court, you need an attorney. You can read the charges,
Right.
but you need an attorney to interpret. So the preacher interprets it. Now, some of them interpret scripture out of their own personal experiences, as opposed to the divineness of the Bible. So, a divinity of the Bible. So as a result of that, they interpret it through their own upbringing in the church, how they perceive the church. And as a result, the Holy Spirit don't give them direction. And then there are a lot of things that we practice within the church that we thought was a sin.
Right.
Because our forefathers taught us it was a sin.
Red lipstick.
Yeah, so, you know, she's funny. But anyway, they taught us it was a sin. And as a result of teaching us that it was a sin, they shied away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're at a point now where we have a new generation who's coming. But I believe the church is maturing. The church is growing. And as the church grows and mature, it learns to understand the difference between that which is actually biblical and that which is kind of, you know, man-made.
So now how do we reach those that can read the Bible, understand, but yet feel it's not necessary for them to come to the house of God?
That's a danger. I think that's a great danger. And I believe that will be sad for this hour. Now, we believe in cell groups. We believe in prayer groups. We believe in intercessory groups. We believe in Bible study groups. However, the summoning of yourself together is so essential
Yes.
for us. Number two, if we look at our people and our particular culture, the black culture, the Latino culture, those people in that culture, when we wanted to do anything socially or spiritually, we gathered at the church
Yes.
because they felt the church was not threatening to them.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of the society feeling the church was not threatening, they allowed us to go to the church.
Yes.
So it's there we held our meetings. It was there we made our decisions. It was there we raised money to send young people to university and to college and to other things. So the church is essential in its
Wait.
practice.
Cut.
I see you in the mirror.
No. Actually, what you'll finish your last statement, and then Dina's gonna say, "Okay, hold that thought. We'll be right back with more."
Yes.
And then you say, "Passing the mantle," and then we go to commercial break. Then we stop, and then you go back, and then again, welcome back to the show. Okay. You were talking You were saying sanctity of the church. Okay. Do you remember what you were saying?
About the assembling of yourselves together.
Assembling of yourselves together, which is a biblical principle. Don't forsake assembling yourselves together. Well, there's a certain amount of strength when we come together. Fellowship. There are people who are living alone. They're retired. And that social order gives them the strength that they need to maintain the week and get through the week. And that's the second ministry that I think that the church, I believe in this hour, this season, should put more emphasis on. The senior ministry.
Yes.
The senior ministry. I think that they should come to early services, the 8:30 services, that there should be help to get them to the 8:30 service. And then we should put speakers that are sensitive to their needs. And the church is a place of information. So because the church is a place of information, someone should be assigned to get all of the programs that are necessary for seniors to help them, that they can get information, to sign them up. I know that our church has emphasized just voter registration and voting, but there are other needs that they have. Just in the Bronx, 70,000 people within the next 30 days will not be able to get the food because of the food pantries being cut off by this president. So there are so many things that are needed for the seniors. And I wish I could give a testimony.
Absolutely.
I can't. Well, I believe it was in 1992, the Lord spoke to me concerning seniors. And he told me that the church is fulfilling in the kingdom what I've asked, but they're forgetting my seniors. And as a result, the Bible was clear that you don't take care of the widows and the orphans. And that's when I set in place a monthly program of finances to bless them. Well, my church, as a result, has never been to the bottom of the barrel because I've maintained taking care of the widows and the orphans. And when you take care of that, you will find out that you'll be blessed beyond measure.
Yes.
Your church will have more than enough.
Yes.
And projects that you have and you desire will be fulfilled, and God will have monies to come from the outside to support them.
Listen, Bishop, I have one more question for you when we come back right after this, but my question is, being that you made this open door, the importance of the church being the cornerstone of the community. So when we come back, you're watching Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina. Stay tuned for more.
Cut.
You're doing great.
You're doing,
You
you're
said
doing
so
fine.
much.
You're doing fine.
That's why I just said edit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can edit a lot of this stuff out.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely-
because you're a little high strung about yourself, I'm gonna run all your stuff unedited,
All right.
as is.
What is that?
I'm only kidding, I'm only kidding.
Do you want it?
You're still okay. Right, you did leave one thing first.
What you nervous for? I don't know.
You're doing. You're stressing over nothing. You're doing quite fine.
Absolutely. See? Last year, our food pantry service.
Just have a casual conversation with Indina. Indina's easy to talk to.
Huh?
Indina's easy to talk to.
Super.
I wanted to say this, so, well, I said.
Can you bring it back? Can you
I
put
got-
back
I
in
got-
on the next?
Because I don't believe anyone should go hungry
Absolutely.
within 10 blocks of any
Absolutely.
established church.
And this SNAP program that they're cutting back and stuff like that, it's ridiculous. Because our pantry's
70,000 people.
on 184th between Morris and Preston. And December last year, I calculated 70,000 individuals. And that's those, but yet you document it.
Yes.
And it's just ridiculous. And the more and more, they're putting up more shelters, more homeless shelters, and these people are coming out by the droves. And so that's like, come on, and then their benefits are being cut, and it's just sad to see. Sad to see.
But the church has to provide an answer.
And what is the end?
We have to provide.
You gonna talk to
Sit
this?
down.
Just talk?
Yeah, we're talking.
Okay.
Are you listening?
Yes, I can listen.
Yeah, listening, stop.
They have to provide an answer.
And some feel that they don't have to. We have people, you know, this is what disturbs me. We have,
Talking to my.
and this is something that we're gonna do, next month's episode 2. We're gonna be talking about generational poverty and generational wealth. Because I was sitting there thinking, I was really thinking that, Lord, because we're talking about this prosperity
I need
message,
you to
and yet you still have
help me
people that
remove
are
her.
public assistance community.
Yeah, from all like, from all her,
So how is
from
it that
full
50%
regalia.
of your congregation is sick and the
Well, that's
50% of your
all.
congregation? You know what?
You have to remove your mic.
Oh. Sure, precious heart.
From Indina's full regalia.
My tutu did. Got it?
One thing to another, we talk.
I know, you
See?
better, I know.
Because I'm supposed to hear
You bring up your statistics.
Yeah, that's one part. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. Let's change that.
Oh, better than?
No, I'm getting a lot of static.
Oh.
Okay. If anyone didn't see the Tina Turner musical, please see it. It is so good. I took my mom for Christmas. That was her gift.
You know your mom.
And then Dina's sold me a lot of jewelry.
You
That
know
was
what?
her gift. My mom's gifts. We're talking about my mom's gifts for the Christmas holidays. So
But your mother loved the jewelry though.
She's
Don't
very
get
happy
right.
with the jewelry.
Yes.
Very
House
happy
of
with the
Dooney.
jewelry. Yeah. She wore the Tina Turner show.
Place of information.
Yes. So we do real jewelry and
Yeah.
custom pieces.
We're good. Okay.
Talk about it.
Because it is real and it is true. Yes, ma'am.
We good to go? That's all I need now. She may not wanna tell me,
Oh, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
but cut it.
But you know your wife will tell you the joke there.
Oh, she done been told me. Jesus, Lord.
Yes, only love. How are you, Minister Austin? Yes, now she's doing a social justice piece. Yeah, she's social justice in the scriptures.
Yes.
How are you? Yes, please. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna be back from commercial. Say it.
We're gonna be back from commercial.
Okay. And once we're back from commercial, we'll be back in the show.
Once we're
When back from commercial, we'll be back in the show. Look at the audience. You have to say it to your audience.
You tell me.
He's a girl over here.
He's not telling me where to go. Yes,
Yep.
let me again.
So once we're done with commercial, we'll be back in the show,
Once we're done with commercial, we'll be back on the show.
and we'll be continuing more passing the mantle.
And we'll be continuing more passing the mantle.
Yeah. I'm trying to uplift women, more women directors out there.
Thank God,
Yes.
that's good.
Listen, we have a diverse crew.
That's good.
We need diversity.
Damn, needed to speak
Huh?
up. Project.
Project.
Thank you for telling me that.
Thank you.
Use the classroom voice.
It's true. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's roll cams.
Roll cams?
Okay. Yeah.
My lips good?
Yes.
Okay, her lips good?
Yes. That's our-
No, say her lips good.
Her lips good?
You have
Oh,
to
my
say
lips
this.
good. Do I need to touch?
Are
No,
your
I
lips
just
good?
said yes.
No, you don't answer. You have to also ask the question as well, because we're in front of a live audience. Are her lips good?
Me?
Yes, it is.
Everyone's her lips good?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's what we need.
Gorgeous.
Okay. See, you're my goal is to get you on live TV.
Gotcha.
So you gotta be a little boisterous. Or what did Albert say? Project.
Project. Got it.
Project. Okay, here we go. And roll cams. Sound's already rolling, because obviously we have sound in place. Okay. And 5.
4, 3, 2, 1, action.
Welcome back to another episode of Passing
No.
On.
We're back from commercial break.
Okay.
Hey, welcome back. Go back in the show. Just go right into it. Welcome back.
Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm with Bishop Jasper Rolle from.
Not like that.
That's good.
I know.
Not like
trying
that.
to be funny.
That's real.
Too real. Welcome back.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay. Take a beat.
Hold on. Gotta get it together.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Lindina and my guest, Bishop Jasper Rolle, as we are discussing the sanctity of the church. What is the purpose of the church being the cornerstone of the community?
Because the church always have been the center of the community. Again, it's where we meet, we greet, we get married,
Right.
we find our wives, we find a social knitting and coming together in the church. And but what I was stating earlier about people in the neighborhood of the community, no one should go to bed hungry
Yes.
or without food within 10 blocks of that religious institution, because there are, within every 10 blocks, there is a religious institution, and they should be able to provide for that family to be able to have food. I think the church has to come to more than enough and not depend on the government to sustain them and to subsidize them when we have the church. If we go back to the early days of the church, whenever there was a major problem in the community, the lack of food, the lack of place to stay, or whatever, a child was out of order, they would come to the church, or they would come to the preacher. And as a result now, they are finding answers with the government as opposed to coming to a religious institution. But I believe the church is going to come back to its meaningful purpose for its existence. And there must be a demonstration of love We can't just preach love and talk about love and give books about love. We actually have to demonstrate and live out our creed as a Christian person and show love. And I believe that's why we have a generation that somehow, to me, is growing up to be very selfish and self-centered because they have not reached out to others. In our congregation, what we do is for Thanksgiving, we ask parents, when you go to the supermarket, you give your children a few dollars and let them purchase something for a person who's less fortunate than themselves. Whether it's beans, whether it's turkey,
Right.
whatever it is, but they need to do that because they have to learn the power of sharing,
Right.
the power of giving, giving to the poor, giving to those that are less fortunate than themselves. And I believe if the church puts its sign out and say we're in business, because a lot of them are taking their signs down and say
Yes.
we're not in business anymore.
Now, you said a few things that you're treading on, and I want to bring, because this has had, our viewers ask a lot of questions.
You're right.
Number one, this privilege thing that people are about now, where they feel at only Christmas time or Thanksgiving time, that's when I feel like I just want to bless the needy. What happens to other portions of the year, as if the need doesn't happen all during the course of the year? Then you mentioned something about churches getting money for the government. Why do you have to? Because now you're treading on that whole giving, tithe, and offering scenario where people feel that, I'm not giving to the man of God because I don't want him living better than I do. But then you do have people that have children that need daycare services, and the church should be able to provide those services from the ministry. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think the church, let's go back to the tithes and offering, because that seems to be an issue with people.
Absolutely.
In terms of giving and how much to give and whether they should give
Yes.
and what happens to the finances. Well, I don't think that they perceive the church the same way. I may go to your home, and once going into your home one time, and you're making $100,000 a year, and I come back the second time, but I notice you got the same stuff. You got the same furniture, same couch, same
Right.
TV, same everything.
Yes.
But you spent $100,000. Question is, what did you spend it, and what did you spend it for?
Yes.
And they have this concept that if we're raising money, now this is not in all churches, because some
Right.
churches are mature.
Absolutely.
They don't give money because they don't see anything.
Yes.
So I'm saying to you, I don't see anything in your house either,
Absolutely.
but you still keep making money. So I think that's one of the issues we have to deal with in terms of explaining to people that to give. Then you have the most important thing, I think, is trust, the trust factor. When they trust the leaders, when they trust their trustees and stewards and whomever is in charge, they don't tend to question as much. So there must be a trust between leaders. I personally don't think preachers should be involved in counting money,
Yes.
depositing money, and handling money. I think that you have leaders
Powers
there
that be, right.
and allow them to do that.
And it's okay to
Yeah.
get an outside source who are non-members
Oh,
to
yeah.
be able to handle the finances
yeah.
of your church.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not as expensive as people think it is.
Right.
It's really not.
It's more wise.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, well, it's safer for you, it's safer for everybody. But trusting is, to me, is one of the most important things that relates to that. Now, coming back to the feeding and the caring of the people and the caring of the community, and you talked about, special days. Well, those days are highlighted so much, like Christmas and Thanksgiving. They're so underlined. So as a result of them being underlined the way they are, people are expecting the turkeys. They're expecting the gifts to come for the children. So I don't know how we're going to deal with that without that expectancy
Okay.
in the community for that. And we have so many companies and stores that pastors are so lazy. Oh, did I say that? Pastors are so lazy.
Tell the truth about it. That's what we do here. That's what we do.
But I'm sharing that I can't imagine the stores that are not a part of the helping.
Yes.
The pastors are not asking.
Yes.
You have not because you
That's
asked not.
not.
And I can go on and on, Costco, BJ's,
Yes.
I'm allowed to say
Yes.
that, Target. I can go on and on, Walmart, all of them, they are willing to help you at Christmas.
If you ask.
There you go, you've got to ask. Even the bank where your church banks that
If you ask.
if you ask them, they're there to help you with Christmas toys, et cetera, et cetera. I can go on and on.
Yes, if you ask.
There you go. So we're depositing our money there. So we think that you need to give back to the community, and doing that is because we asked you to, because we could keep it in our house under a mattress. But, we get it out. But you've got to ask. So there are things that the church is doing and not getting credit for because they're not aware that the church is really serving in a great way and helping in a great way. Yeah.
You know what? I love it, and I love you, and I
Yeah,
thank you.
you.
I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Listen, you are watching Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina with my special guest, Bishop Jasper Rolle from Abundant Life Tabernacle right here in the Bronx, New York, where it's going down. So we want you to continue watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll be right back.
Hold on, I want to get rid of that.
I'm done.
I was wondering why I
hope
was
so.
here. You did excellent.
Yeah, Albert. Use these. How's everyone feel?
Very good.
Awesome. By the way, Albert's offering foot massages later, so.
She's sleepy.
You were gonna ask me a question about.
Have a good time? Okay.
Okay.
Want to do this?
Maybe you'll let me come on.
Oh, what's
Don't move, don't move. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Mama.
There's a reason why we do this, stuff like that. Once in a while, you stick us in the water.
You're trying to make another set.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Is everyone good?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll be back on.
Hold on, I'm thinking of the other question. What you wanted to talk about, what?
Passing the man.
Okay.
Just,
Okay, I want you to say we're back, we'll be back in the show.
Just gotta ask.
Turn on to your ways.
Yes.
Yep, you just spin around.
Hi.
We'll be back on the show,
We'll be back on the show
okay, with passing of the mantle.
with Passing the Mantle.
How'd you like? I'm sure you will. Framing's good. Every once in a while, check your focus. Is it good? Use your glasses as reference. Very good. Okay, come back. Okay, and roll
5.
cam. No, no, quiet on set.
Oh, quiet on set.
Okay, roll cam. Okay, CL speed. Okay, start time code. Start.
5, 4, 3.
Oh, no, you have to count. Follow your time code. 5, 4, 3, 2, quiet. Action. Okay. Do it now.
Okay.
Good.
Beat you up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
You're watching Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina with my special guest, Bishop Jasper Rolle from Abundant Life Tabernacle, the sanctity of the church. Bishop,
yes.
go ahead. What you want to say?
Well, I just want to, hope this is my closing remarks. Oh, okay, thank you.
You the bishop, you get to say whatever you want.
Yeah, we were talking about passing the mantle.
Yes.
And I think that can be very crucial in the South, because the basic thing that needs to be taught is one must have a love for people. And if you don't love people, pastoring is not for you.
No, it's not.
You're gifted, you're talented, and you're a Christian, but pastoring people is not for you. Because you must have the power to forgive, because the world revolves around forgiveness. And at some point, you have to forgive people, restore people, renew them, encourage them. And that's going to happen as you try to lead people. And then you have so many areas that are required employees, sometimes you look like their son that they wanted to be, or the daughter that they wanted to be as a pastor. There are times when they look at you and they see you as a father they thought they would have, and or the grandfather or the uncle, etc. So there's so many roles you play in the lives of people, and you must be prepared to do that. And now, when we go to legacy, the senior pastor to me has to locate a person who he or she feels that they can train and develop.
Yes.
They must have training. They must have development. And the one thing, particularly the Church of Apostolic Pentecostals, a lot of them don't feel that they need to go to school and be trained. But I'm an advocate of the necessity for them to go to school
Yes, I am
and
too.
be trained.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I think that is what this generation is asking for, because if our children are going to graduate school, they're learning and being developed, and then we've got so many immigrants coming in speaking so many languages, the pastor has to be trained as well.
Yes.
So that's what I feel the senior pastor needs to do, is to work with that person until he or she feels the passion for the church, the passion for the ministry and caring, and then help to impute the vision of the church into him or her, that they can carry the vision out. And don't build everything just around you,
Yes.
but build it around those who are around you.
Now, I'm noticing that there have been so many generals of the faith that absolutely have no plan of succession, some that are still living and some that have passed on, that now their churches basically have fallen apart. You know, you didn't raise sons and daughters to be able to take over because you felt that you was going to live here until the great by and by. How do we help them to see that there needs to be, it's okay for you to go to be emeritus. You know, it's okay that for you to leave your legacy and to train someone to take your place. It's not that we're putting you out to pasture, but it's the fact that you are going to age. You're going to get older. You're not going to be able to carry this forever, but you do have to give it over to someone that you can trust or someone that you have imparted that to. How important is it for them to see that?
Well, it's extremely important for them to see that. However, there is a search, a spiritual conquest that he or she goes through as a senior person to get
But
that
is it
person.
something that's inward though?
Yeah, but, well, listen, we don't have time to deal with church people, but we can deal with church people. If you deal with church people, he could be upgrading somebody, trying to position them, and the church people themselves can just discourage him so bad until he just want to call it a day.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then some people that the pastor, senior pastor cares for, there's another group in there
Yes.
that, yeah. So I think it's a difficult job, and he has to be truly led of the Lord, and God has to direct him, because that's a difficult challenge. It's a difficult challenge. And I don't think some of them feel that they're going to stay here forever. They just want the job done correctly.
Okay.
And that requires, the one thing I do say to the generation behind is that they're maturing slow.
Okay.
Yeah, they are maturing slow. And they have such an influx of a world that the senior pastor kind of draws
Yes.
back,
Yes.
because he don't want them to cross the line.
Yes, I will agree.
And but then on the other side.
But then we're creating a dwarf church though.
Yeah, but the other thing that I believe is a problem is that they're trying to, draw people in, and if they maintain your old traditions, they're not going to draw them in.
But, okay. We're creating a dwarf church,
Okay.
and then we're allowing the world system in our churches where we have let down the standard of holiness
Oh,
too.
my God, yes.
So now we have now partnered with the world system to
Yes,
say,
we have.
this is what holiness is. And so we said, okay, Sam, it's okay for you to do that and then still be here in the church too. And then the world is sitting saying you're a hypocrite because the same thing I'm doing, you're doing it too. And then you want to say that it's okay for me to come in here and now we all going to do everything that we do. And God says, I'm accepting this, and he's not.
I want to say this about an entertainer that I met and had shared some time with her. We talked about this. So the entertainer said to me, he says, Bishop, I really don't go to church because people in church are trying to be like me.
See?
And even their music
Sounds like
is so far out there until I wanted to hear Jesus keep me near
the
the
cross.
cross.
Yes. We're doing an episode on the hymns of the church.
Yes. And they're trying to give me what I get in the world. And I grew up in the church. And when I go to church, I just want the church to sound like the church. I think you need to be progressive. I think you need to be ongoing. And then you need to be relevant. However, you have to know how far to go.
Yes.
And what songs to choose. Then in the music, there are mothers who, we have great singers and great entertainers out here today, but they didn't grow up with that.
Yes.
So every now and then, the seniors need to hear one of the songs they can relate
Yes.
to,
Yes.
that they can feel comfortable in the church again,
Yes.
not like they are just lost
Right.
in the church.
Right.
So I believe I've come to a conclusion.
And your conclusion is?
That this year, 2020, will be a year of spiritual insight, and that they will be able to see things in a way that they have not seen them heretofore, and that they will understand that everything is tied to this decade
Yes.
in the next 10 years. And I am into whether one should plan. What do you plan for the next 10 years?
Yes.
What is your vision for yourself? What is the vision for the kingdom? What is the vision for those who are operating in the kingdom? What is the vision for the next 10 years? So I think one must sit down and write and think about where you would want to go, and then put pressure on yourself
Yes.
to accomplish it and to make it. Don't allow yourself to get by and to not accomplish it and give yourself excuses, but work on your vision. And God called you for a purpose. I mean, why would he let you stay here? I mean, what was the purpose of your being here?
Exactly.
Yeah. You must show a purpose for your existence, for why you exist.
Absolutely. We love you. Passing on the Mantle loves Bishop Rolle, and Bishop Rolle loves Passing on the Mantle.
Yeah.
And listen, Pastor Andina stands for holiness because I'm coming straight out of the Holy City. Listen, you're watching Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina. Stay tuned for more.
God bless you.
Beautiful.
And cut.
Do that again. I want you to say, we'll see you next time. Because you're ending show now.
Okay.
Okay, so keep rolling. Okay. Keep her in. But don't say the one. Just say 5, 4, 3.
And you
Quiet one.
I'm saying,
You'll say the same thing you said before, except this time instead of saying stay tuned for more, we'll say we'll see you next time.
on Passing on the Mantle?
Yep.
Okay.
When you're on Passing the Mantle. Okay. And also before that, what you should say is find us on Instagram,
Okay.
blah blah blah. Okay. And then you'll end it. Okay. And I
What did you say? I want you to stop chewing.
find us on Instagram, find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook.
Or your
Log on to
location.
ptmu1.com. Okay. And we're still rolling. Kieran.
5, 4, 3, 2.
For more of Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina, go to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram under Passing on the Mantle. I hate when you do that. For more information on Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina, go to our social media platform on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina, or log on to ptmu1.com.
That was so not smooth. Do it again. Good.
You couldn't edit that?
Nope. No.
For more information on where you may be able to find Passing on the Mantle with Pastor Andina, go to ptmu1.com or our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Passing on the Mantle. Thank you.
All right. Now wait. Keep it on. Now I want you to say, "We'll see you next time." Just say just that. Okay. I'll tell you when. No.
We'll see you next time.
Wait, Bishop. Okay, and cut. Round of applause. Remove microphones, and then I want to get pictures for you two together for,
Yes,
for thumbnails.
Okay.
Okay, remove the microphones first.
Thank you. I'm glad I gave you guys a hug.
Give us a hug.
You got a lot of this.
You did very well for your. I pulled a lot out of you. You did. Yep. All right. Okay, so Andina. Can we use your phone? I know you have a great, big off minutes.
Yeah, she got a good phone. I got a 10. Come on.
Mother, you gotta get.
Yes,
take a
another roll,
picture.
come on.
No,
wait, let.
Take a
No,
picture.
wait. These two by themselves first, and then we'll have.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, good.
Okay, ready?
I wanna put this on.
You like 4 shots, one. More. And also get
Now he's a social media
vertical,
mogul.
get vertical. Vertical splits. Yep. Okay. Get 4 of those, maybe. All right. Bishop, you said someone else is gonna come in as
Yes,
well?
his wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the wife.
Yes, he
I'm
wants
just
you.
taking a picture.
No, she
He
can
wants you in it.
Come a little closer with it.
I'll take it. What do I do? Press
Good
the.
shit.
What I do? Not the photo.
She can get in the photo if she wants to.
Yep. All right. Now, you have all 3 of these shift.
Yeah, sis.
By the way, I love your outfit. Just so you know.
I know she all cute stuff.
All right. All right. Since the wife is no good, we're done then.
Wait, she didn't get, the wife didn't get one.
Oh, the wife didn't get one.
Yes.
There, right there. Wait, one more. There you go.
Wait.
Good. Thank you so
Come on.
much.
I want one with the bishop. Come on. You good, Bishop?
All right.
Come on.
I see you.
Anthony.
Okay, ready? 2 more, 1 more. All done.
All right, y'all are funny. Y'all are comical.
I'm going on. Let me go back. Go to juniors. No, I'm gonna just take something home.
Take some.
Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Love you, dear.
Only love, like I only love all.
That's your birthday.
Yes.
See? Oh, yeah, come on, let's go take over.
Let me take this one.
You know what, and I brought it out his outfit, just in case, I was like, let me see, just in case, because I know she'll wear it. I said, just in case.
No, I want to get one like this with a flowing outfit.
Can you take one?
Well, like, all right, make sure you work this through.
Look at that.
I'm sorry, Jay.
You're fine. It's all good.
All right, Jay, I need you to send those to me, by the way.
Gotcha. Thank
Every last
you.
one.
All right, I'm gonna go change.
Oh, you're not gonna win. Oh, because it's supposed to be another.
No, it has to
I
be
changed
next
for
to
every
the episode.
episode.
Yep. Yeah, that's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, because it's a different episode.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
She has a scarf, so should I hook it onto the scarf?
Oh, no. Can you do it under? Because the scarf,
Okay.
keeps a certain shape.
Okay.
So you're better off going under the scarf so that it maintains continuity across her face.
Can I put it onto her?
You don't want the scarf doing this. Attach it to her. Yeah, you can do it like that. If you want to attach it without.
Can I just leave it like here or?
No, then if she moves, then it goes.
Got it.
Just squeeze it on a little bit. Thank you, Albert. Is this your book? I want to get a screenshot of that actually. So that I'll have you holding it. And you'll get a screenshot of it.
Where do you find it?
On Amazon, Kindle, and if she has it on Kindle. I'm
Oh,
gonna
no,
get
I
a
can't. I
hard
gotta
copy.
have a,
Yeah,
I have to have a book.
y'all gonna get a hard copy.
I need a book.
So how far is the ride? Oh yeah, be cognizant, yeah, you cannot move once you sit down.
Hi, Bishop.
How are
Wanted
you?
to greet
God
you.
bless you, delight.
But I'm being,
They have to come to you, you can't go to them.
Yeah, you have to find
It's okay.
I just didn't want to be.
I got it. You do.
Be safe in your travels, Bishop.
Oh, yes.
And thank you, by the way, for enduring the weather.
Was it still raining when you came? All right, y'all have a good day tomorrow. Now, yeah.
What else you got? What you got? You got? What else you got? What else you got? That's it? That's it? That's it? You don't even go on business, you know? Sit down. If I say you sit down, and I take over, that's not good. If I say sit down, and I start doing camera, and I'm doing the audio, that's not good. That's not a good time. If you, as long as you get back to that chair, we're all good. Because you always back in that chair. The best way to learn is learn under pressure.
Yeah, he's speaking is not, I have
to speak
on cue is
That's all right. I used to not do it. I used to do the same way. I just reached impediment growing up.
Yeah.
So I used to stop.
Yeah.
So the way I worked it out, I went to like 7 speech therapists. I finally found one of my last ones really attractive. It's like, what? Your thoughts technically are faster.
Do you need
Your
something?
brain says
Or
they're
the
faster.
old, the back of AJ?
So I am my last therapist was really hot.
I love that.
So I had a hair over 15 shit I kicked in my mouth.
No.
All the time.
No, this is,
So she,
Oh.
well, I work with
said,
them
I
with
kept one of
security
these
sometimes, so
Okay.
I'm,
That's full. I'm like,
switching it home. So now it's her time to.
here she was.
Yeah.
But I like talking to her.
So-
Before she let me talk. And one day she's looking at me, you don't think
When you open your mouth when you get hit, am I just gonna let you say what I'm supposed to?
So we gonna see what the.
Because I see it all. I don't say it to everybody, trust me, I don't say it to everybody.
We gonna see what the we gonna say, cause I'm like, let's go.
I see the all, I don't say it to everybody, I see the all, I see the all. So it's like, we gonna have to go visit, I have to wear a swimsuit, so I be on the floor, and be like, I'm gonna say it again, I see the all.
And even
That one?
just get back on, go back, fall in the horse, get back on.
Yeah.
So just my few sessions with her, maybe like 10, so the one that keeps seeing you all the time.
Right.
I told him, I said, you was just in school. She said, I was coming to your church in my high school years.
Right.
I like seeing it, I just like looking at it. You looking good? Yeah, I was really, I was a 12 player, I was also a 12 player. As a 15-year-old boy, I was
That was the place to be.
beauty and her intelligence.
You didn't go to church, you ain't been to church, you didn't go to Jasper Rolle.
But just the fact that she
Between
said
Jasper Rolle and Billy Robinson, if you didn't go there, you were nobody, you were low class.
if you create this picture of having a conversation, you're gonna mess up. Well, I know, I hate my voice. Especially if you hear yourself on tape. I love how I sound. Yeah, but if you make mistakes, just going. You know, sometimes it boils down to pointing out what's in your head. That's why I say take a beat, like take a beat for a second, and then say it slow and slow and loud.
Just tell me like what to say when to say.
Oh, but I'll tell you as we go along, because I don't know what we're doing yet.
Cool.
You know.
Okay, so.
But it's also another time that we had the static at the beginning, right? So I probably want to do a lot of that stuff. That's why I had it go longer. But you can choose stuff. It's not what you do when things are going well, it's what you do when things go wrong.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah, because I had decided to.
yeah. You keep doing that thing that you're scaring me card as well. I'm like, I don't see it very easily. Never did. It's
Can we test her all?
I know, she's fine. It's a little way I'm worried about. She's that like if I know someone, I think when she I'm not sure why or whatever. I'm dealing these things.
Should I cut this live? No, should I just keep going with live?
Oh, turn it off.
Should we just keep going?
Live, nothing's happening.
That's funny.
We're live. There's no